How do nonprofit lobbying rules impact legislative action? Imagine trying to influence laws without risking your nonprofit's tax benefits. That's what lobbying rules are all about. These rules set the boundaries for how charities and other nonprofits can speak up on policies. If you run a nonprofit with tax-exempt status under the section that makes you a 501(c)(3) organization, you can try to shape laws but within certain limits. The IRS says lobbying is any activity aimed at influencing legislation, whether through talking directly to lawmakers or encouraging the public to contact them. There are two main ways nonprofits measure their lobbying efforts. The first is called the substantial part test. This looks at whether lobbying is a big part of what the organization does. But it's a vague standard because there is no exact number or percentage. If a nonprofit spends too much time or money lobbying, it risks losing its tax exemption and might have to pay taxes on some of its income. The second method is called the 501(h) Expenditure Test. This is clearer because it sets specific limits based on how much the nonprofit spends on lobbying. Organizations can spend up to $1 million a year on lobbying activities, but no more than 25% of that amount can go toward grassroots efforts. When nonprofits spend money on lobbying, it includes costs like advertising, printed materials, and even staff hours dedicated to lobbying. They need to keep detailed records of staff time and expenses to stay within the rules. It's also important to remember that 501(c)(3) groups are not allowed to support or oppose political candidates. That can lead to losing their tax status and facing penalties. These lobbying rules shape how nonprofits act. They encourage organizations to be strategic, focusing on issues that matter most to their missions. They also make nonprofits carefully track their activities and spending to avoid crossing legal lines. While these rules might limit some advocacy efforts, they help nonprofits participate in the legislative process responsibly. By understanding and following these rules, nonprofits can still make a difference in policy debates without risking their tax-exempt status. This balance allows nonprofits to be effective advocates while staying compliant with the law.